Maha Elkolalli, what did you think when you watched?
It was definitely relatable as far as, perspective is everything. And that we're constantly having these associations that are, built, established, and built upon and deeply embedded in us. And we're reacting to situations day to day based on those associations. And many of those associations are just simply inaccurate. And he was just so successful at pointing them out. And he was, blunt, straightforward, and to the point. And maybe that's really how we need to deal with these issues. Like, this is the association that's been made. This is the misunderstanding and the misinterpretation. And, exposure and breaking down barriers is everything.
Blunt and to the point for sure, but in such a way that, you wanted to hear it. And it was not just calling out someone and accusing them of this way you are, but saying, hey, step back and look. This is something that most people who live in society and breathe experience. I just thought that was, the way he gets the message across was incredible. Just, I would say, Maha, what about with the Muslim community?
Yeah, for our community, it's layered, because Islam is a religious identity. But within Islam, there's huge diversity. The population is so diverse. So, for example, if you have an African American Muslim, that's two layers of bias that you're trying to overcome. For me, as a Muslim woman who's an attorney, I've had all kinds of situations happen. I mean, I've been in line at the courthouse, full suit and a briefcase, and been told, this is the attorney only line. And, just trying to deal with this idea and this perception that Muslim women are uneducated, that Muslim women are oppressed, that Muslim women are, made to wear their scarf and forced to wear it. Modesty to me is my empowerment, and my education is the ability to empower others and to advocate for others. So this idea that Muslim women are oppressed is such a foreign concept to me personally, because entire Islamic history is about empowered women who carried this faith financially, women who were business women who were educated, women who passed on knowledge. I mean, it is all about empowerment. So there are so many misconceptions about Muslim women. And the other idea is that all Muslims are Arab, which is also false. 20% of the American Muslim population is African American. And it's the third largest religion in America after Christianity and Judaism. So the misconceptions go on, and we won't talk about, this idea that Muslim men are aggressive, and that's just not a reality, and it's something that they have to overcome day in and day out. This preconceived notion and people judging them, and just misjudging them. So it's an interesting journey, and with the change in the atmosphere more recently, it's really forced the community to be a little bit more visible to the outside community, become a little bit more politically involved, a little more socially involved. So it's almost a blessing in disguise, because it's pushing us to say, listen, you need to know a little bit more. And it's an opportunity to educate the public. But this idea that Muslim women are oppressed is often a bit comical to me, because we are definitely an empowered group of people.
Maha, let's get into some solutions and some tangible things people can do. What do you suggest?
Okay, I think honestly, it's just going back to the basics of remembering each other's humanity, and there's this process of dehumanizing groups of people and making them less than, and this justification of abuses of those groups based upon these associations that are created in our mind. It's just going back to the basics of remembering our humanity. And I know that Josephine and I have talked about this, where you'll see situations, for example, where the Jewish cemetery was destroyed and the Muslims came together and raised funds to try to assist in fixing that vandalized situation. And there are situations where mosques are burned down, and guess what? The synagogues open up their doors and say, here, do your Friday prayers in the synagogue. It's just this mutual respect and maybe crossing barriers. And when you see that a group is being abused or a group is being, there are injustices against groups that are outside of your circle, to say, hey, we are here and we will stand with you because this is unacceptable. So it's just going back to the basics of remembering our humanity.
What do you think about the advice to young people?
Well, I think it depends on what age group we're talking about. So for very young children, I'm a very big storyteller. I believe in books. I think that different cultures, different religions, we should try to have people, encourage people to publish books about their cultures and have children read them and, you know, make it an opportunity to learn. The other thing I recommend, not everybody's able to do it, but if you're able to do it, travel with your children. My kids were always world travelers, and in doing that, they see the beauty in everyone, and it changes your perception of the world, and it makes it such a smaller place. So it's just travel, storytelling, having circles where you can, you know, be forthright and ask questions, and no question is a bad question. I want you to ask me, well, what is a hijab? Why do you wear that? What is it for? What does it mean to you? Don't be afraid to ask the question, and to have safe spaces for those discussions. And a lot of it, again, is exposure. I think Todd spoke of it, where just having your kids, like my children, it's like a UN, you know, their friends are from all over the world. Even within our family, we have Chinese people, Brazilian people, Puerto Ricans, Cubans. I mean, we've got it all. Yeah, so it's just appreciating that, and you know, breaking barriers through food is a big thing also.
That's a great idea, that's for sure. We